Hello, we're Social Youth Cult, and we're a band that does music and things. I'm Shaun, and I sing and occasionally play acoustic guitar.
I'm Alex, I hit the drums.
I'm Jack, I play bass.
I'm Holly, I'm the axe woman.
Well, we recorded at the Bunker in Sunderland with resident genius Phil Jackson, who we came with the songs, and they were a bit like half-baked. Phil sort of cooked them to perfection.
Yeah.
If we're going to go with that metaphor. Yeah, but we were in for 4 days, and it was like really sort of unconventional, and we played around with loads of sort of different ideas.
It was like intense, but it was very fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot more. I was sort of really stressed going into it because I was like, everything needs to be perfect, and then it was actually like a really relaxed environment in the end.
We had the songs like pretty much ready. There was a few like bits here and there that weren't like fully established. Like there was some guitar parts that weren't fully established until like the day. But yeah, we went in with like demos and stuff that we'd sent to Phil Jackson already, and then got them recorded in those 4 days.
Yeah, me and him did all the lyrics on the record, and I think it's split 50-50, you know.
Yeah.
I did 4 of the words for the songs, and he did the other 4. But sort of my half, and the sort of the title for the record just comes from the Lighthouse in Tynemouth, which I had a bit of a rough year, and that lighthouse sort of got me through it. I sort of took myself off to go see it whenever I was in the mood. So a lot of the lyrics are like that. It's very sort of introspective, and some of it's quite topical.
My side of things, it's mostly about, just emotion, just the same, quite a lot of isolation. But also I wanted to just bring in just some good old horror aspects. Like She's Dread is kind of inspired by like a lot of tales of like mermaids at sea and like siren songs. And I thought that was very interesting.
We all really like the Chameleons.
We all love the Chameleons, yeah. I mean, I got a t-shirt on. But for the Lighthouse, what, sorry?
I don't think there was much inspiration from the Chameleons to put in the songs, but still great band.
Yeah.
Like Strange Times, wasn't it?
Yeah, Strange Times, close enough and a lot of like atmosphere.
Yeah.
I took
That was
It's like a subtle inspiration. I mean, obviously the direct ones are like Battle House, Joy Division,
Birthday Party.
bit of birthday party, like
pop group as well.
Pop group.
like Killing Joke, stuff like that.
Rhythmic, kind of like heavy.
Yeah.
Sort of music.
Sort of a bit.
Well, it'd been in the works for a while.
Like 2 years.
2 years, because obviously, like Jack just said, we had the older style. So we had to kind of come up with a new kind of style at the same time, didn't we?
Yeah.
You know, but...
We don't write songs very fast.
Yeah.
We like to have an idea and then play it to death and then go, we hate that now. And then essentially just redo it over. 4 of the songs on the record were the only 4 songs we wrote last year, because we like to stew on it a bit. So it did take a long time, because even the songs that we had sort of completely finished when we came in to record were still, like, the original versions of them were so different to what we ended up with. So yeah, it took a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was Bloodletting, which is a punky sort of song, and then there was Holy Teachings, which is an idea that we kind of didn't want to give up on, but we sort of incorporated into other things. It was a bit more noir. I've got the demos on my phone. They're totally mixed. Yeah. That was my first and only foray into backing vocals.
Me and you did a little choir bit. It's not in that version of the demo, but we did a little choir bit as well. You know?
Yeah, that was very DIY. I've got a picture actually. That,
oh god.
Know exactly which picture
I'm going to find this picture. Obviously we're professionals and we recorded most of the parts via DI into Logic Pro. And there was a lot of bleed from, because obviously I don't live on my own, there was a lot of bleed from people moving about in the house elsewhere. So we were like, what are we going to do? I decided to pad my wardrobe out with plenty of pillows and covers and everything. And there's a picture of Shaun. There it is.
Oh, lovely.
I don't know if you can see that. But there's a picture of Shaun sat in my wardrobe. A picture of Shaun sat in my wardrobe recording his parts on the worst mic in the world.
Yep. I think it blew up at the studio a couple of weeks after
that.
It
did?
It did.
Blew up.
It completely
blew up on stage actually, didn't it? We were doing a sound check for the first Whitby gig and it blew up, didn't it?
Yeah, it did, Poor Mike from Stock Image.
Yeah.
It cut out in the middle of his set.
In his set.
There was sort of a heavier sort of rhythmic song that he recorded when he was drunk.
Yeah, and I really like the sound of it, but it couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah, we sort of brought that sort of line into other pieces there, didn't we?
Yeah.
It probably mostly turned into The Man in the Fur, but it was only really those two that didn't make it. Sometimes we'll have an idea, I'll show it to these or they'll show it to us, and we'll play it through. If we don't like it, we will just drop it. We're quite particular, which is why we don't get many songs done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're too different to prefer one over the other. Good bands have a live sound that's so much different to the recorded sound. Like we talked about the Chameleons, their live stuff, they make an effort to make it different. He'll change some lyrics, or the guitar parts will be different, or it's in a different tuning and stuff like that. So good bands have a difference between their live sound and their recorded sound to make you feel different things. So I like both. I don't know about you guys, but
I prefer playing live a whole lot more. Recording in the studio is fun, and of course what you get out of it is so much more than what you put in. But it's just the energy and a lot of the chaos of playing live. That's really what made us fall in love with being in a band. Like from right when I started playing instruments, when I was at school, I used to go into the rehearsal spaces during break. I wasn't meant to be in them because I didn't study music, but I used to go in there, you and a couple of your mates, and none of you know how to play instruments. Doing a cover of Nirvana or the White Stripes or what have you, you know.
The easy stuff.
Yeah, the easy stuff, you know. And I just fell in love with it from then. To be able to do that now on a stage, just best feeling in the world, to be honest.
Yeah, if you have a good gig, you're on cloud nine.
Oh yeah.
But if you have a bad gig,
you're on cloud zero.
My answer's the same as Jack's, like I can't choose between the performing live and the recording the album.
I think there's a difference in, I mean, we're sort of very withdrawn when we sort of sit down and talk, but when we're on stage we're all just like throwing ourselves apart. So there's that difference where it's like, if you sit and listen to the album, you're sat there like, oh, I'm in the mood now. Whereas when you play it live, it's sort of very movement based and you really get into it.
Close to nothing for me.
Probably answer that individually.
Yeah.
Yeah, close to nothing.
Yeah, close to nothing for me.
For me, it's tied, because in my head there's the heavier stuff and then there's the more atmospheric, you know. They're all atmospheric and they're all heavy in their own way, but like just in terms of basically, does Jack have his fuzz pedal on or not? But for me, it's a tie between Close Nothing and The Man in the Photo.
Dead Space is my favourite one from the album. I'm dead proud of how that came out.
Come on, really
I love
well.
the sound of it.
Dead Space is my favourite as well.
Yeah.
It's just the guitar work's amazing.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, the most difficult part was sort of getting the ideas across, actually.
Getting the demos done. They did
Getting the
take a
demos
while.
done. But we found our ways around it. We all work in very particular ways. I'd play a bass part and then be unhappy with it, and we'd have to start all over.
I like getting locked in a room and told to write something, and then it just happens.
She's like, leave me alone in the room and I'll come with the guitar.
I can't have eyes watching me, otherwise it doesn't work.
So there's gear issues as well. We're no stranger to a damaged guitar, I don't think.
Yeah.
Sometimes we do it on purpose. And by we, I mean me. And he had a cymbal that he hated. So towards the end of...
Too small.
towards the end of last year, me and him made a pact that we were going to break it before Christmas. So we had an excuse. We didn't break it in the end.
It was dead wood.
But it was like bent like that. You know, they start like that, but we had it like sort of roof shaped by the end, because I just started whacking the headstock over my bass. Yeah, we've had broken strings, we've had, you know...
My guitar broke in half.
Yeah, he's lost 3 guitars over last year.
Not 3, man, 2.
You've had
Not
3,
bad.
I
I've
suppose.
had 3,
yeah.
I've had 3.
Rob's driving snapped my old guitar's neck in half as well.
Yeah. There's like a fracture right down the middle.
My Telecaster does tend to come along with us to a couple of gigs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have an especially temperamental guitar. But she's a diva, so it's okay.
See you later. Yeah, thanks for watching.
Angry Birds.
Angry Birds. Yeah, that's how I sign off now. Yeah.